everybody. I am out here on my patio enjoying this beautiful Georgia morning before the heat runs me back inside. And I just wanted to update you all on what's been going on with me in the past year or so. If you've subscribed to social media, you have seen that I've made some changes to the name of the business, and it is now called Sadhana Health and Wellness. So why sadhana? Sadhana is a yogic term meaning practice. And what that means for me, it goes beyond yoga. It means the practice of living life well. Earlier this month, I announced that I had received my yoga teacher certification, and I'm so stoked about it because it's actually something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. And so actually everything that I have been doing up to this point has been like a culmination of my life story. I heard she's some kind of yoga teacher now. But didn't she have some kind of float spa, like you in some big bathtub floating in salty water? No, she makes like soaps or lotions or beauty products or something. Well, you know what they say. Jack of all trades, master of none, right? Yes, yes, and yes. I'm doing all of those things. And all of those things are a culmination of my life's journey. So where do we start? Let's start in the beginning. I grew up in a family that ate what they grew from the land. And when I moved away from my grandparents' home, they were farmers and gardeners. And my mother and I used to spend a lot of time outside in the mountains and in the deserts. And we were always picking like wild greens. There were just a plenitude of different herbs that we would use for teas and tinctures. And this is also where my love of crystals came from. There was so many in abundance out west, and I didn't know the power of crystals back then. Maybe intuitively, as a child I knew, but it was more so the feeling that I got from holding them in my hands and the beauty of them. And that started me on a long journey to collecting different stones and crystals. So let's fast forward. Baby Kiki coming out of college, and she falls into this new age group called Trobe, and Trobe meant the realization of being. And this was a beautiful group of people. They all had their issues. Who doesn't? When you try to find your way towards healing, like minds attract like. So this is where I learned how to meditate. It's how I learned the practice of affirmations, energy work, how to both heal yourself and others using energy. And it was the first time in my life where I felt empowered to take charge of what was going on in my life, as opposed to just leaving whatever happened to me to chance, as opposed to falling into the same destructive patterns and programming. I learned that I was the manifester of my own destiny. I was the creator. And it was very powerful to learn at such a young age. Well, unfortunately, when I left the group after about 4 or 5 years, I kind of fell back into the same old patterns, the destructive patterns and the drama. And it was disheartening because all of that teaching was in the back of my mind, but the drama and the negative things that I was manifesting was just at the forefront, and I couldn't see the goodness that had been planted in my head. So I discovered yoga, and yoga started off as a workout. I was like, oh, this is cool. I love the way my body feels when I do yoga. And it was different from like all the weights lifting I had done and all the running that I had done. I had always been into being active. And I decided that I loved it so much that this would be a great thing to teach other people. So I began the process of teaching and learning how to teach. Unfortunately, guess what? Same old patterns, same old drama reared its ugly head, and that dream to teach went on the back burner. So, a few years later, after just seething and seeing the same pattern, I couldn't stand myself anymore. I'm like, I can't go one more day, not one more year. How can I live the rest of my life doing what others had done before me? Doing things that weren't in my best interest, doing things that didn't feel good, and it only made me feel worse the older that I got. So I took on Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga takes the 3 systems of yoga and combines them into a path for self-realization and enlightenment. And we forget who we are a lot of times through life because, again, we're working with programs that were established before we were born. And then we start heaping on these other things, these experiences, and we lose that pure part of ourselves. And I know I wanted to know who I was when I was happy. So through meditation, through just practice, through doing the poses and the asanas and just meditation, one day I realized that the things that used to bother me didn't bother me anymore. The anxiety, the depression, the downward spirals that I used to have, they weren't there anymore. I was living in the moment. And not only did I feel absolutely liberated and free, I felt that the things that I wanted in my life were coming true. They were manifesting. I could visualize and write down and think about it, and these things would happen. And it could be that the power to do that was always there. I just couldn't see it. And that's what happens. We get like mired in all the muck, and we're unable to manifest the things that we need in our lives that are going to be for our benefit. So all of it has come to fruition. My yoga certification, I want to be able to teach, and that has come true. I'm already a Reiki master. I've been for quite some time. The crystals, I'm learning about them every day. It's not just the love of collecting them. There's so many, and the ways that they can be used to heal our body and to align the energies of our body is just absolutely amazing. So all of those have come to fruition. Now, do I still want a float spa? Well, hell yes. Do I want a yoga studio? Yes. I also have to realize that all of those things don't happen when I want them to, but they'll happen when they're supposed to. So COVID is not going to stop that.
Girl, yes.
No negative people are going to stop that. No health department issues. None of that can stop me from realizing my dreams. And that's something that everyone has to do. They have to tap into their potential to understand that you are so much more than your programming, and you're so much more than what your family is and your job and the damage and traumas that you have taken on and that has happened to you. You're so much more than what goes on inside your head. And it is, once you can find a way to get clear of all of that mess, you'll find the real you, and the real you is beautiful. So stay tuned to Sadhana Health and Wellness, the practice of living well. I'm going to be posting some videos, and I've got an Instagram, the Instagram. So stay tuned to Sadhana Health and Wellness, the practice of living life well. Namaste.